But we are live now. All right, now we got to navigate all this rain. Not going to be fun. Okay. I'm gonna lock that. Okay. Not gonna have the typical walk. Okay, it's pouring. I'll set up the tripod and get in there. Not the fullness in parking lot that I kind of expected, but I guess we'll see. Looks like the meeting started ahead of time.
Probably been an informal thing that we do if people come in and ask for it, but we're required to have a formal policy and how it's discussed and that sort of thing. So this is it's just an oral resolution to adopt that policy. On the agenda, it says that we have to have a public hearing. It turns out this is a policy, not a law, so we don't actually have to have a public hearing. Go ahead, have a motion to adopt the policy. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Next up is a request from Highway Super. Wants to put in a three-way stop sign at the intersection of Slate Branch Road and Acorn Drive. A resolution of introduction and set the public hearing for March 19th. Do I have a motion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Next up is a request from our Director of Parks and Recreation. This has to do with putting together a contract with the industry regarding the park usage for summer. This is an annual thing, right, Sandy? Correct. Do I have a motion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Next is a request to approve engineering services for septic design and inspection on Range Park. As you may recall, this is something that we talked about in an earlier meeting, and we were waiting to get information back from the Department of Health. We've been looking to put in a new septic system for new bathrooms at the park for quite some time. We were waiting to hear back from DOH. DOH came back and asked for some minor changes, and this is just to authorize the work by CEO to finish that design so we can get final approval and move forward with the work. A second?
Yeah, just put it on what we could get it done by anyone else right now.
All right, all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. All opposed? Carried. Next up is a request from Mill Farm Elementary School, also a kind of a a routine, request. They're, asking to have a school event at Freedom Park, and they're asking to waive the fees, like you said?
Yes, they are.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Yes.
All in favor? Aye, all opposed? Carried. Next up is, a, request or a acknowledgement of the deputy clerk appointment, effective March 11th, at the designated rate.
I think we're gonna go back for right now.
Okay, you want to table that and have some further discussion?
Correct.
Any objection to that?
I'm sorry, say that again?
He said he wants to table the discussion on, I presume, the setting of the salary of the deputy clerk. To have some further discussion on that, which I'm okay with as well.
Okay.
All right, next up is request from the building inspector to go to mandatory training, in New Paltz. Do you have a motion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Carried. Next is a request from the deputy assessor to participate in an online continuing education class. Do I have a motion? Second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Carried. Okay, that's it for the agenda for this evening. Any kind of board comments or discussion at this time? You can do it now, or you can do it discussion. All right. We'll do it discussion, okay. Anything from the town attorney this time? Do I have a motion open for public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Carried. Questions? Sir?
Yes, Dave Siegel, Town of Lagrange. I'm just wondering if we're going to be discussing the resignations of several planning board people, the clerk of the works. Is that going to be something that's talked about in the public?
That's not on the agenda. We were planning on having any kind of lengthy discussion about the resignation letters.
Okay. Gotcha.
Any other questions or concerns? Sir?
Yeah, Tony Ferrari, I'm just wondering in reference to the Recreation Department and the septic field that you're gonna have Clark Patterson Lee.
Yeah.
I'm under the impression, like, there's been 3 different meetings where Clark Patterson Lee's name has been coming out where their work is being terminated. They're only gonna be given the opportunity to clean up what they have in place now until they clean up all the paperwork.
Yeah,
So now you're assigning another job to them? What's
This is
happening?
another job. This is gonna cost us $9,000. If we get someone else, then there's $2,700 left to do on it. I already called 2 engineers, so it makes no sense to hire another engineer for $9,200.
isn't that-
He's got, it's already in with the Board of Health.
But isn't that contradictory to what's going on now with the,
No.
with Clark Patterson
but
investigation?
we-
No, when we made a decision, what the board voted on was to engage, to use the services of other engineering firms and to assign work to those new engineering firms on a case-by-case basis. And part of that decision-making was to decide which projects, which were in the middle of some amount of work, it made sense to have Clark Patterson finish off completely, or, excuse me, or to get to a natural break point before turning it over to another engineering firm. Because if some substantial amount of work has already been completed, taking that and handing it to another engineering firm would result in that engineering firm starting from the beginning and costing an excess amount of money. And so on a case-by-case basis, we've been deciding which projects to do that with versus which projects are new and to assign to some new engineering firm. And all we're doing on this one is deciding that this is work they've been working on for multiple years, and we're just asking to have it completed. Other questions? Sir?
Was this giant resignation of planning board members, is there an investigation going on? Do we know why they're doing this?
Well, the, 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 the,
Is there a repair someplace in Iowa? This is a
With
disaster.
respect to the reasons, I believe the resignation letters have been released to the public, and they contain what the people who resigned chose to tell the town regarding their termination. With regard to a remedy, yes, the town is working aggressively with a plan to react to the resignations and to ensure that services to the public continue. And we're working pretty diligently.
Joe, since the attacks were, based on me, I will make a statement. I talked to Stacy tonight, and I talked to Dennis tonight. I'll say this, I am the only board member to reach out to them today.
No, John.
Well, that's what Stacy told me. So, okay, wait a minute. I will officially respond to the newspaper tomorrow in writing, okay? And I will make the statement that it's true that I am the most focused board member and in town hall every day doing work, so I kind of get blamed. I'll tell you what I believe is what started this. The board the entire board on February 5th voted to take away Wanda's clerk of the works for 2 years and make it 1 year. Or give her 1 year instead of 2. They also took away, rescinded her administrator of planning position title. Wanda then, and that was a unanimous vote from the entire board. Not just me, entire board, not even sponsor it, by the way, okay? That happened on the 5th. On February 14th, Wanda resigned. And her secretary, she got a job, Town Kitchen, making more money. She resigned on February 19th. So those are not planning board members. And Wanda, who I do think had a lot of talent, had issues many times in the past, actually a year and a half ago, she was also removed from that planning board position, okay? But this was not me, this was the entire board. Am I correct? I have it right here, unanimous. Okay, so that's not blamed on me. Okay, I have a chairman, a 1-year chairman, made a statement, and he's like, whatever.
Al, you did sponsor that.
What?
You did.
I made the motion, I didn't sponsor it. Nobody wanted to.
You sponsored.
Okay, well, if they sponsored, I sponsored. I don't have an issue with that. The bottom line is a unanimous vote by this board, not just me, okay? Unanimous, Joe. I'm talking, let me finish. Okay, we had a resignation from a chairman and a vice chairman. It was a 1-year vice chairman. What I really care about is, and I would resign today, is Stacy, Olio, and Dennis. Stacy Olio has been on our planning board for 36 years. She's tired. She's come back after resignations like this before. She's probably the most important person in this town, in my opinion.
I appointed her.
Okay, so I'm not gonna argue that fact. I had a long conversation. She's gonna send an email. I am gonna address the newspaper on every single issue tomorrow in writing, in detail. On all the accusations here that were made, because they're untrue. Yes, I have a planning board, obviously chairman doesn't agree. We changed engineers, they're not happy with it, and it is untrue. The minute our attorney told me, because we've never done this before, that the planning board has a right to pick their own engineer, which we've never, ever allowed in the history of the town, I had no issue with it, and they were interviewing people before the resignations came. So, that's what happened as far as the engineers. Did any of us have any issues with it when we were told that they could pick their own engineer? Okay, so just making those comments right now. So I will respond in writing to the rest of what was put in the paper tomorrow. If anybody has any other questions for me, I'll take them.
Did that answer your question?
No.
Why not? Oh, wait a
I didn't
minute.
ask.
Okay, back up, I got more. I worked diligently, and that was one of Stacy's issues. Stacy resigned on, the date here, 10 days after Wanda, more, 14 days. I worked diligent to replace the planning board secretary. I brought her to Alan, and we actually have somebody who is experienced that will be coming here, but no one told the planning board. But we also did try to meet with the planning board chairman and was unsuccessful. So that's already been done and hired and replaced. We also have 2 applicants for architects that have applied. So it's not like we're sitting on our butts waiting to replace these people. And I have done all that work.
Inflate has also has it.
Well, that could be a third.
Okay,
So,
I-
okay. So I'm just letting you know, things happen when people don't like what we do as management. And yes, I'm the loudest, and I probably need hearing aids now. But everything I do, I was voted unanimously by the board. Okay? Thank you.
It's sad, but okay.
It is sad. It is very sad.
So,
Was there a piece of your question we did not address?
yeah, is anybody looking into why all these people resigned at one time?
And I think I did answer
And
that
how do you
actually.
replace
And no, there's no formal investigation into that, no. And I don't feel it's appropriate for me personally to attempt to talk on behalf of 6 different people and whatever was going through their mind.
No, I
As I
just
said,
wondered if
we
they
have,
expressed their.
Listen, Stacy did say. she was-
as I said, what was written in their resignations has been made available to the public.
Now, the other concern I have is replacing this many people. Are you gonna pick people that have no experience at all?
Architects, I just told you that.
We
two
will
architects.
Will you stop?
We will,
Holy cow, are you rude?
the answer to your question is that we will attempt to find qualified people, we'll evaluate applicants, and we'll make the decision as we've always done in the past.
I'm just concerned with what's gonna happen with planning.
I think there are a lot of people very concerned about
The
what's
next
going on.
couple of years.
Anything else? Motion to close the public,
I got something to say.
that's a shock.
Shouldn't be. You good? Thank you.
Name is David Machida, Town of Lagrange. By the way, I eat dinner often at the Daily Planet, so before you add more lies, happened to be eating with my family one time and you were having a meeting over there.
And for you.
There was an interview, an article that was written by Todd Bender, Mid-Hudson News. I guess you weren't available to comment, and said that you weren't around to comment, that you were out for the weekend or something. I saw you driving around.
Was out of town. I have a sick mom that doesn't live in this town. It was 6:30.
You were at the bar.
No, it wasn't at the bar. I was at my mom's.
That's enough, that's enough, that's enough. This is the public comment period, is not for you to tell people, so if you have a question or something you'd like to address to the board, please do so.
So you've been aware of the issues that have been going on in the town for a while. You've been aware that Rabasco has been influencing the board, and there have been complaints about it, that he's been attending meetings that should have been public, because they had, 3 planning board members, the town attorney, Wanda, all these people, and Mr. Rabasco here in agenda meetings, they're calling it, even though they're supposed to be public meetings. You've known this has been going on. You've known that the planning board was uneasy with the influence that Mr. Rabasco was trying to assert into the planning board. You've known that they've been stretching out applicants' time in the planning board sessions for way more than appropriate. You've known that Wanda's been the one who's been double billing on escrow accounts, double paying escrow accounts, inappropriately using the escrow accounts. You know that he should be resigning, and I wanna know, what are you gonna do? This is.
I'm gonna respond to your comment
Are
by
you
saying
going
that
to
all of
resign?
those allegations are nonsense, and
You
I'm
can
not
say
going
the
to,
nonsense,
excuse
but the
me.
people already
No,
know
you're
it's
done
true.
talking, I'm gonna
I'm not done
respond.
talking. I still have, 50 seconds.
Finish, and then I'll answer your
So I'm
question.
curious if you're going to resign. I also want to know, we didn't talk about the vestibule today. The vestibule's been going on for, I don't know, I've known about it for 2 years maybe. I think Joe Luna was still in charge when he drew the plans for it, so it must have been around for a while. That vestibule doesn't even meet the legal requirements to protect the people that are gonna be here on ticket days. It's a giant expense, $200,000-$300,000, and you've got like $17,000 or more already in design fees. Was this even bid out? Did you do the proper bidding for it. I've heard there were only 2 bids. Did anyone even see a bid on this project? How are we spending money and how are we approving these things? And no one's even seen a bid. Is he the only one who's seen a bid? Are there even bids? Are you going to resign?
First of all, I'll answer that, Alan. We haven't even put it to bid yet. We've approved an engineer to design it. We went back out, we decided to make it bigger. We don't have even a price on it, so I don't know what you're talking about. It will be designed, we will approve it, and it will go to bid. We've hired an engineer to handle the bidding process.
Yeah, your
So
friend, the engineer,
You're informationally incorrect.
to protect you in the salt shed.
That's enough.
Everybody
That's enough.
knows.
That's enough. We're not gonna get into an argument here, particularly with you just making
That's information.
false comments after the other. To address just one of them, the meetings that you're referring to are called agenda meetings. And the purpose of the agenda meeting is to have a number of staff members as well as a couple of planning board members walk through the proposed agenda for planning board meetings to make sure that the documentation is all in place that's required for them to be able to take action and that everyone understands what actions are being planned to do it. They occur every single month prior to the meeting. They are not illegal meetings because you do not have to have a public meeting unless you have a quorum that's capable of voting, which is why there are 2 or 3 planning board members there, but never 4.
A public body is 2 or more. So don't
do
lie to
this.
us.
Don't do this.
Don't
You
lie
have
to
no
us.
right to speak.
You need to
You're done
resign.
speaking. Your time has expired. I'm not getting into an argument with you because you don't know what you're talking about. I'm answering your questions, and you clearly don't
But
want
you
to
clearly
hear it,
don't
so
know what
you're
you're
now
talking
done.
about.
Do I have a motion to close the public comment period?
May I stand? May I comment? I'm sorry, I would just also note to reflect the lack of information there, I do not attend those meetings, so I'm not sure, while that is really inconsequential to the point, I'm not sure where any of this information is coming from.
Right, okay. Did you want to have something in your
I
notes?
do.
Okay.
I've taken a number of days to decide if I was going to speak in public comment tonight, and I don't know if I'm being courageous or stupid or a combination of both. But I'm standing tonight for my coworkers and my colleagues in this building, and some of you know how I feel. And I'm not going to say everything that I had thought about saying tonight, but I am going to say that yes, there is a toxic and a hostile work environment in this building, and it has been building for the past 2 years. And it's because you brought your politics and your infighting into our work environment, and we deserve better. We work incredibly hard for this community. Many of us drive here from other communities. We don't even live here. It's time that you stop. I've been at the receiving end of it. I've taken phone calls where I've been screamed at by a member of this board, and we're not going to take it anymore. If I'm the next person who has a bullseye on my back, I will not be forced out of my job. I have a stellar 2-decade career that I am very proud of. And I will not back down, and I will not be put through what other people in this building have been put through.
Thank you.
So for the other incredible people who work here, I'm standing here for them. We have mortgages, we have children in college, we have people in responsibilities that we work very hard for. We have a community of Lagrange that we love. I'm not putting myself out there for every other person who comes to these stores every single day, who give each other pep talks, and despite what we have to put up with here, we keep coming back. And it's your job to make sure that we have a place of employment that is respected. It used to be a place that we were so proud to come through these doors, that people were, it was an admirable place to work, and you've made it a laughing stock, and it's not. And that's all I have to say. We deserve better, and it's your job to make it better.
Thank you, Sandy.
All in favor? All opposed? Carried. We need to have an executive session to talk about
Potential litigation and attorney-client privilege.
Are we planning on coming back in?
Yes.
Yes. So, motion to go into executive session. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Yes, they have to come back in here to close out the meeting. When you're the leader, everything is your responsibility. Anything bad that goes on, you have to fix it. It's your responsibility. You're in charge. You have to take care of what's going on in your home. It is miserable, right? Yeah. I know what's going on. Yeah, I talked to several employees of the town, and they're all scared and upset, and it's a bad situation.
This lady was trying to do
Just think about it, just look at my son, that's all.
my special
I've heard from several
I'd like to just try that's how
Okay, do me a favor, bring it down, give me a list, and or email them. I have no problem either. I have my heart to do it, and I'll put them all together. I just get the same email and
these judges talking to themselves. They don't have anything to do with it.
Haven't seen your mom in a while.
How much is going to for 10 years? They say.
I'm running for county legislature for Lagrange. Right? And that guy, where is he? The guy in the blue over, light blue? He's going to be running for town council. You got to make some changes. Okay? All right, so just take my card, just look at my stuff, that's all.
I'll take your call. If you come in, you got to help the complex where we are because we got more fucking problems.
You guys
than God.
are here on almost every meeting.
Let me tell you something. They don't give a.
Do you live there? You don't live with 5 minutes.
No, I'm
You're at the Glens, right?
the Glens, yes.
Where is that?
Up the overlook.
Oh, okay, fine.
It's like,
Wait, quick.
yes, right there on the right.
That's District 2, you can't vote for it, but there's someone else. Okay, so you are. Okay. I'm on Clover Hill Drive, I've been here for 31 years.
County?
Yeah.
You know what it said to me?
Thank you.
I'm not.
He can't vote for me anyway.
You know what he said to me? Town of Lagrange does whatever they want. They make their own laws.
What's that, the ag market?
I don't know what the fuck he was a piece of shit. I said, why are we paying taxes? Oh, you want to pay $1,000. If I pay $1,000, you got to represent me. He said, no, I can't do nothing.
Hey, when do you guys hold meetings?
We hold meetings regularly.
When?
Once a month.
Okay, what day?
It's not always the same day.
On the website it says it's the same day.
Yeah, it's usually a Tuesday, it isn't always a Tuesday.
Where do you hold meetings?
They've been virtual, most of them.
Okay. So do you provide that link to other Democrats so that they can join the meetings?
It's not open, you have to be part of the committee to be invited to a meeting. Committee meetings are not open to the public.
Okay. So how do you get on the committee?
You have to, I think I gave you Jim Frederickson's number one time, something like that.
Yeah,
He's
his
the
wife
chairman.
says they're not part of the Democratic committee.
Oh, I don't, listen, I don't know.
Yeah, so
But I don't recruit people, I don't bring people.
but you're the secretary, right?
Yeah, I'm the recording secretary.
Okay, so you initiate the Zoom meetings?
Nope.
It all happens from Jim's house?
It all happens, I don't know who does it every single time. I don't do that. I take
Okay.
the notes. I always take the notes.
Good. So you take the notes
Yep,
for all the meetings.
right.
And then how many members do you have?
Well, it's all is that something that we need to talk about? I mean,
I'm curious because I was told that there is vacancies.
There is an avenue to get that information. This place and the secretary is not that avenue. So I point you back in the direction of the chair, and that is where you should go.
Okay. There's a lot of people who can't vote in this town. They want to.
Well, then they should register with the Board of Elections.
Okay.
All right, but you have to have a legal address in the town. Okay, that you live at.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you do, then no problem.
Okay, so what about the 4,000 Democrats that want to vote?
What about it?
Did you know we had 4,000 Democrats?
I know how many. I know the rolls very well, quite frankly. But anybody who's not registered, you can't do anything. Right?
Yeah.
Unless you want to go out and try and get people to register to vote, which you can do.
Are you guys doing that? I heard you were petitioning this week.
We're petitioning. That's not trying to get new people registered, that's to try and get people's names on ballots.
Okay, but you putting anybody on the committee?
I'm wondering if
Your committee?
there are, take it easy, there are people on the committee. Again, I don't speak to recruitment. That is not my bailiwick. I don't know how many, I don't even know how many we're supposed to have. Okay?
So when you're out petitioning, you're not petitioning for other people to be on the committee?
Well, every couple of years you do have to commission. That's part of the signatures that you get.
Right.
Saying these people, they have to be in my election district and in District 3.
So right now, when you're out petitioning, you're not petitioning for other people to be in your committee?
We're just petitioning for the existing people.
Oh, just for the existing people?
Yeah, because you can't petition for someone who's not A, registered, and B, part of the committee already.
But you told me last year that you guys just assumed the committee, so anyone who's on the committee...
No, the committee is around before me.
But nobody was there when you guys got on?
No, there were. There were some people on.
Okay.
I was not the first person.
All right.
All right, so I would say go that direction and see what you can find.
I'll remember that.
He's running.
I'm sorry.
Like that Mike that's there now.
Yeah.
He's running in the Republican Party. You Democrat, you decided the Democrat, you're running against the primary.
Yeah, I'm running. Well, I'm not running for town council. I'm running for county election.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Mike Palashik.
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
He's backed by the Republicans.
He's backed by the Republicans.
You're going to do the primary against him? Or?
No, I'm going to run. If he runs again, and I don't know if he is or not, okay, I will be running on the Democratic ticket.
I'm a Republican. I'll vote for you.
Yeah.
I don't like Mike at all.
Yeah, well, a lot of, listen, I was told that I would have a chance. That's all I care about. All right? So, that's a scoop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's problems all over the
I
place.
have given them so many avenues of approach to what they're doing wrong.
Right.
Alan Bell has not answered out one of my letters. Not one. He basically tells me I'm too rambling. I'm not going to bother reading your letter.
You know, there's a lot I could say, all right? But here's what I don't like. Let me just say one thing. I think that the people who come to these meetings deserve answers, okay? And I think that one thing that really bothers me is that if you have a question, you can only ask a question on an agenda item. That's bullshit, okay?
And you've got to write. I've got 15 attempts to get in here.
Right.
I've got foils that have been denied. I got 14 foils that have been denied. I can't get the information. They locked me out. Just basically, they made me get.
You know, I go to the county legislature meetings, all right, on Market Street, and they have two public comment periods, one for agenda items, one for non-agenda items.
You know what they should do here? I've been in town to MC all these fire department meetings, and what they do, they have an agenda, and you talk on the agenda before they start talking about it. Before they vote. In other words, you have your say before.
That's the way the county runs too.
It should run like that.
That's
They don't. Did they have a vote? They already passed it.
That's the way. Yes, and that's the way the county runs as well. Yep. All right, let me just go talk to these guys. I just want to give them my card. All right.
Chickens, right? Yeah, we're here for that. Don't you want to protect chickens? Don't you want to protect your right to have chickens? Ag exempt doesn't affect town. Because they don't care. I want to get rid of that rule that says if it's not permitted, it's permitted. Nobody's not around my door and watching it affects me. Like I said, this is for entertainment.
There's going to be some people.
Yes, I got it.
ask comments, you know, we don't really check
They denied me 14.
From that, we became 3 or 4.
They still denied me. One manager responded 5 days.
34 people watching. 34.
34 people here are watching right now. They watch this way or watch that way?
That way.
That way.
Not as many as I thought. Well, Rabasco said he would resign right now if it wasn't for Stacy, but I don't even know that wasn't even an answer to Joe's question. Stacy's grandmother, or about to be a grandmother, she's resigning. She's retired. This just puts her over the edge. At least she could do something with her. What do you mean?
The remarks he made about why he put something about Rabasco.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, but everybody else who works here is saying the exact same thing. Just because the planning board chair wrote it in a letter to the town board, in his resignation letter, he already had read it to the town board. Like, oh, the lawsuit with Rabasco? We just flipped it on him. Now the court is waiting for him to say he's not guilty. I mean, he is, but... But I want to know about... There was a meeting one day with Alan Bell and Susan. And the planning board was talking to him, told him all this stuff a while back. Alan Bell's been knowing about it. It's been happening under his house. He just said that they're holding meetings with 3 to 4 people. And a public body is 2 or more people. If there's 2 people who can make a decision, then the people should be able to see the decision-making process that their government is doing. That's a public meeting. It's 2 or more. The law says that a public meeting is 2 or more, a public body is 2 or more people. So if you've got 2, if you got Alan Bell talking with any board member, that's a public meeting. Do they regulate that? Do they enforce it? No, but if they're doing meetings every month, yeah. They're right. There can't be 2 of you unless you make it public, unless you give the public an opportunity to see your government making decisions. But they've been doing it. He's known they've been doing it, and he's facilitating it. It makes it a dangerous situation. I mean, think of the courage it took for 4 board members to stand up and say, we can't be a part of this. They know what's going on. I got a new engineer for you to look into. This B&L Engineering. I know you never heard of them. You know when CPL, the town got rid of CPL? They didn't even tell the planning board. They just put in Rabco's engineer. Barton. No.
He signed the approval for that.
Who signed it? How could Rabasco? I bet he did, but how could he sign anything? He can't act as the board. For the vestibule? Have you seen it? Yeah, because Rabasco is friends with Barton. He's going to try to protect him in the salt shed. MJ, yeah. Do you remember when there was a problem because Wanda was paying the escrow accounts based on the attorney sitting here, but charging every applicant, and the stormwater person being here and charging every applicant even though? Well, now we have these new engineers here charging every applicant. Yeah. So they're literally wasting time and charging every applicant. I've never seen them win a bid.
You better tell me what the next step is. I think that might have I can't put my name on something that you're going to put these days down, and then 5 months later, you got to have that set up.
Yeah.
The neighbor's going to say, what are you down? We'll go next. You've got to have a set schedule of what you're doing, and he wants to push his things at months. He wants to 3 months done.
Well, at least he's on top of it. But I mean, you've seen as many estimates or bids as you've seen more than I have. Have you ever seen one from MJ? Have you ever seen one from B&L? MJ never wins them.
Jim just came up like a couple months ago.
Around the same time as B&L, huh?
Yeah, the same
Yeah. Yeah, Rabco signs it. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like they're separate.
Yeah.
Have you seen the drawings for the vestibule from B&L?
Oh, I don't think it's B&L. Sure.
Yeah. Yep. I think he's getting a kickback from B&L. Yes. It would make sense. I mean, if he's B&L's doing all the jobs and bidding them, and he's even bidding them high, and MJ is bidding the jobs double. MJ's never going to get it. But if MJ's is not going to get approved, that means B&L's always going to get approved, no matter what they do, as long as MJ's higher.
say they got Barton. Barton is basically the same contract, the same format as CPL, where you get like 300%.
Oh, the 300% thing, yeah. And you saw it again? Interesting. Well, if you see something that looks like it's profitable, you'll probably copy it. I just can't imagine paying somebody 300% their hourly rate.
The hourly rate sounds like they were charging for secretary or someone else, it would be at the rate, it wouldn't be 3 times that. CPL is thing in there. If that's including $370, now they're charging
Yeah.
$210.
Yeah,
And the other thing that's bad,
3x,
if
yeah.
they called you as a subcontractor and drill well, and it cost $2,000, they would charge you double that, with 100%.
Right.
Now, $4,000. Have that guy go well. It's, but the other guy, Sam, didn't have that there. He was going to charge you 15% over whatever that bill was. It was 2,000 for 15, that's about what, 3,000 instead of 20,000. You know what I mean? It's sad. It's sad what's going on.
It is sad. That's just, it's an abuse of our...
My son-in-law wanted to get on the planning board. Say, somebody, yeah, I'll look on it. Because I know about construction. I mean, he wanted me on the architect. He wanted me on the architect. Yeah, but he didn't want it. When I started first back in 19, when I was last time, they wanted me on it. They don't have an architect review board. They wanted me to be chairman of the architect. I said, no. I said, I'm not going to do that. Make it higher. I'll sit on the planning board and I'll look at the drawings. They went through 20 years to get a bush like this. You know, the sidewalks are on 440 to 5 foot. Bullshit. Delay. I couldn't believe it. And more money after the money.
I think Richie took his phone for once. I think Richie took his phone for once. Good, he shouldn't be leaving it out.
I hear it. I wouldn't even go up there. No? Yeah, you can't hear them. But they're talking, I can't hear them.
At all times in a public meeting, everyone's supposed to be able to be heard and identified and seen. This is what happens when you have a leader who doesn't know how to lead and people who don't know what they're doing.
That thing with CPL, 3 times I heard that they were terminated, but it's on town's term. They want to keep them there to clean up anything. These guys go in there, they owe $100,000 right now. The bills, he's giving them all the bills that Wanda had to work. And that's why I think Wanda, they made her those bills and all the boxes, I guess, they're pretty close to be able to go to the box. They want her to give those bills with the lump sums, as if they shouldn't pay them outright.
Oh, to reconcile the billing. Yeah, but she can't.
They want her to.
Because she was just paying them blindly. Because she was late on paying them. Yeah, lump sums, because she didn't know what she was
They
paying.
needed bills,
Right.
550, and this is a big number for 40,000. Boxes of bills, and now it's up to Wanda to clean the bills with the bill, with the lump sum bill.
No, the secretary's working for the town of Poughkeepsie. I think Wanda went to something in private sector. The issue was that he's the judge who recused himself from all the cases. That's O'Hare. Yeah, he's the one who said, "I don't understand what's going on." Yeah, he's in the middle of the case. Yeah, I think he'll resign. And he can't even do anything about it. It's a conflict of interest. I don't think she can say much because she's been in those meetings where Wanda and Rabasco were. So they're going to need an outside attorney, but a lot of the outside attorneys work with the town board, and they don't want to ruffle feathers. But at this point, that town board's going to be gone. You're going to have a whole new town board. You better come in here and start helping us out. The town needs you, right? We need other attorneys to come in and help us out. This is a mess. It's dangerous. Yeah. Did the comptroller call you as well today? Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I think she's the manager for the investigation. Yeah. Okay. She's the one from up in Albany. Yeah.
Spoke to me late, just trying to lay it out to us. Diane, I don't know for nothing. There's a lot of problems. You got to talk to them. We're going to lay off 15 people resign from the next 5 months. Something's wrong.
Yeah. The way that they were taking advantage of it. No, they call him in because I'm here. Because he's a judge. So if they try to arrest me and arraign, it'd be all in one sitting. Yeah, he's come to a couple of the ones where they thought it was going to be a problem. Yeah.
You know, I think he was a judge. He was, fired everybody. Fired the planning board.
I'll take your ethics complaint and I'll go myself. I had to write up that on bill.
I don't have it here. Where did you find it here that I have to write an ethics Where did you find it?
I don't know if I have it on this phone. It's definitely on my streaming phone. Article 18, General Municipal Law. I might have it. Maybe. This looks long. Well, this is the law that says that an employee can't have an interest in a contract. This is the conflicts of interest. Like when Rabasco earned $350,000 for the building that was sold. This is, let me see, it says, this isn't the ethics though. Let's see if I can search. It would be
I could not develop information since I came.
I don't think I have it on this file.
You had mentioned something that's legal, put an ethics complaint against somebody that was an employee.
Yeah, because, so, an employee is anyone who's on a committee or board, except for a judge or a fire department personnel. But it includes, you're still counted as an employee when it comes to ethics code, even after you're no longer an employee. I mean, yeah, I have the original ethics code as well, so I saved it before they deleted it. I've dealt with the sheriffs a few times. I think they're pretty helpful. So the sheriff might come and help you. Whoever's calling me from unknown, I'm sorry.
Like this, 8 pages I have, documenting shit that I want to
I know they're all connected. They know they're all connected. And I think the people all see they're all connected. We just want to stop being lied to. I mean, when Sandy said that was powerful. Because she's been the one who keeps coming in here and fighting. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Sandy's using CPO right now. I could understand if there was like $2,000 left to work on like a $90,000 job, finish it out. Okay. But unless they keep adding more and more. It sounds like it's a new project, yeah. Okay. Is it for $2,700? Left to pay. That's not like the leftover balance from like a bigger job? Alright. Sounds a little low, like it's part of a bigger bill. Right. We need to have an account of all the money we've been spending on and for what. And so yeah, we shouldn't do any more work with the people provided. 25, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Wanda was catching up on the bills that she never paid. And she was doubling up. She was paying Rebecca Valk double. She was paying little guy Arthur double.
You got lump sum bills for that job, for studies.
I'm gonna go see if they're talking so loud that we can hear them. Because I imagine that Rabco's yelling. So. I'm just gonna put the camera in the hallway. Anything you can hear in the hallway is public space. I'll let you know. No, cops never stop me. They have no problem with it. Excuse me, Joe. Thanks. Alright, fix that annoying vibration. Somebody's trying to mess up the stream. An unknown caller. Oh. I see who it is. To the person who's calling, I would definitely like to speak with you. But we're gonna have to wait till the stream's over. But you can message me. pretty quiet this time. Usually Rabco is yelling up a storm, but I don't hear him today. Maybe he has his tail between his legs. Now, I wish I could have got the story from the chair of the planning board, but I had to get it from others. And I had learned that in these meetings that were happening a week before the scheduled planning board meetings, they would have 3 to 4 planning board members. They would have the attorney, an engineer or 2. They would have Wanda, clerk of the works there. And they would have our Rabasco. And I had always heard that the planning board was up to no good in the way of stretching out an applicant's time, such as if you're going in for a deck and you'd have 10 little things you'd have to fix up to satisfy the board, they would make you come back 10 times, 1 issue per meeting. And I always wondered, who told the board to do that, and who on the board accepted those orders? It never really made sense, because I didn't really have a problem with anybody on the board, even though some of their meetings were going too long. And it all started making sense when I realized Wanda and Al Rabasco were influencing these meetings a week ahead of time, setting up how the agendas would be, setting up who's going to be on the planning board agenda, what they're going to resolve, what they're not going to resolve. And it's like racketeering. It's a racket that they're getting all the professional services paid, the attorneys paid, the engineers paid, at the expense of the taxpayers and the applicants. If you had a deck, you needed to come into the planning board. This deck is just a simple example. And maybe you come in one time, quick meeting, and you come in next time, you fix it all, and you're done. That could have been an hour or 2 hours worth of time, at most, something more complicated. But instead, they're going to make you come back for 10 hours, 10 times, hour each. You have to pay for all the engineering, you have to pay for the attorneys that happen to just be at the meeting. And so not only are you paying 10 times over, or I guess that would be 5 times over in that example, but now the planning board is tied up even longer, because they could have been done with that one project in 2 hours, but now they're spending 10 hours on it. That's why planning board meetings go 4 hours. Every month, 4-hour meetings. The planning board puts in like 15 hours of work before every meeting. The town board spends like 15 minutes before. It's the amount of work that the planning board is doing is much more than they should even be doing. They don't need to be doing all that. But the way that they're getting compensated for it, Al Rabasco gets 10 grand, and a planning board member was getting 2 or 3. The big problem that the planning board was having with Rabasco in there, you've all heard him at these meetings. He goes in there and he just starts talking loud. and over talking and taking over the meetings. So how can they get any work done? But then they got rid of the engineer that the planning board was used to. And they put in our Rabasco's friend, the engineer. And the planning board had no say in it. It just didn't make any sense. Why would the planning board be forced to use this engineer? And now this engineer is doing work for them, and none of them have received any bids. There's no bids. Can't foil any bids. There are no bids. So they're just paying them. No record of how much. But you don't need to trust me. You can look up Al Rabasco. You can look up Kelly Robin. And you can look up the guy who works for B&L, who happens to live in Lagrange. And you can see that they all know each other. They all seem to be connected. Maybe that's not a problem. But when you have a board member like Al Rabasco, who got paid over $350,000 for the salt shed project, it just makes you question everything. It was pretty, I don't want to talk inappropriate, but that was a pretty ballsy move. Sandy. It is not easy to speak in front of all those people. It's not easy to speak to the board, especially with something that they don't want to hear. And it's not easy speaking when you know that the town is watching online. But she did. She stood up for all the employees that are dealing with being scared for their jobs. And they're right to be scared. Just because you've heard of these 6 resignations doesn't mean you know the whole story. The town's been firing people, taking away their benefits. People have worked here a long time, did their time.
They took over when Casey was fired. And the owner, the guy in charge, he was the chief. When nobody's looking for Phil, it's terrible. Go write a book. Go write a book. No good. Not too old for that shit. Can I take one thing or two?
I gotta set you up with voice to text.
Oh, Jesus.
You can just push a button and then talk.
No, don't do that because I changed my, in the middle of the sentence, I'll change it, I'll scratch that one out and put another sentence.
All right.
But then I gotta add something before that, so.
Still faster
I was hoping that this was gonna be a final hurrah this year and I wouldn't have to write more goddamn letters. I didn't want to write more letters.
I mean, he's got less than a month to say that he's not guilty.
Bella's out. Bella's the one, right? He's not, so we know he's gonna do it.
Right.
It's January, right? January.
Yeah, but I think Rabasco's gonna like leave. I don't think he's just gonna resign. I think he's gonna run to Virginia, probably Virginia or Ohio, because he has to respond to our lawsuit.
How many days he got to be 30, 40, give him time? Next year.
I mean, they could agree to adjourn it, I guess, but like the judge already agreed. She accepted. Yeah. So now it's on him. He has to say he's not guilty for doing that. I don't think his attorney knew any better. She only had 5 cases in the history. Like I looked her up. I was like, "Who is this attorney?" And she only had 5 cases. So I think he took advantage of it. She's in Rappleyette. Yeah, but I've heard such good things about Alan Rappleyette.
Really?
Yeah, and now they've got this attorney who didn't know what she was doing. And Rabco took advantage of it. She can lose her career. I don't know how that works. It's sanctioned. I feel afraid for the board members. Because they think that they're going to get sued, but they can't get sued. Oh, Kelly Robbins obviously here now.
I picked up on what you said. I looked at that shit.
Okay, so yeah, I think that she had surgery, so I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt that she was just on pain meds and still came in to do her job. Probably shouldn't have been driving, but she was definitely walking as she was.
Reach out and talk.
Okay, do we have a motion to reconvene?
Make a motion.
Okay. All in favor? All opposed? Do we have a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Carried. Sorry to make you all wait, folks. We decided we're not gonna vote on anything tonight.
That's convenient.
So, and I apologize. We didn't know that when we went down.
So out of, attorney-client was
Rich,
Richie and Susan?
and same thing for adjourn.
Okay.
Okay? Thanks.
So no minutes then either, huh? Because you get the government that you deserve. I don't want to follow those. How you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Good?
Good, good.
You getting your steps in?
I am.
Yeah?
I am. It's tiring.
It is tiring.
It's
Yeah.
different host.
Well, so what I had learned is it used to be that, and not too long ago, that the primaries were in September.
Okay.
And so if you were to go petitioning before September, you're probably in the summer or the spring. It was probably a great time to
Dealing with this
go.
cold weather.
So whoever made this idea of, oh, well, the Board of Elections needs more time to count it, I get it. September to November is kind of tight, very challenging or anything.
I guess so.
Did they forget that we're in New York and we have winter in February? Like,
It's so cold.
we're the only, like, many other states, you just pay a bond to be on the ballot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you may have like 10 or 20, but it's not like people are lining up to do this. Even if you don't need to go collect the signatures, like,
People,
it's not easy.
People don't like opening up the doors either.
Yeah.
I noticed that. They don't like opening the doors. I was like, wow, whatever. We'll do it. My fingers, I couldn't feel my fingers, but that's okay.
Yeah, I double up my socks.
Smart.
Yeah, because my toes were getting cold, and I was like, man, double up the socks. Yeah.
I was wearing long johns, but every time coming in and out of the car, looking at the people,
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta go.
Oh, I do the long johns too. Yeah, because I always use them on the farm under my pants. So.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
man. Well, good luck.
Good luck to you. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Garrett. See ya.
I'm gonna see you next Thursday.
Little judicial intervention, huh? I am walking out with a copy of a record. Hope it's not a public record. Is it still raining? Looks like it might have stopped. I think it stopped.
Hey,
About time.
better.
Yeah, it was coming down hard when I walked in. Alright folks, show's over. I appreciate you watching. You watching this long is a thank you to me, so I appreciate that. I know it can get boring, but if we don't pay attention, this kind of stuff continues. can always reach out to me. You can text me. Phone number is 914-419-4404. Feel free. I get plenty of spam calls because of it, but if you want to sign the petition, put me on the ballot. At least we can have a fair election this year. Just give me a ring. Maybe coming to your street anyway to get signatures. One more meeting down. Hopefully we get resignations again this week. Thank you.